bell when you see it.
Good evening and welcome to the Rambler Sports Network. We are live for another RSN broadcast here for a big game between the Twin City Ramblers and the Kalkaska Blazers. Once again, I am joined by Aaron Fritchie, and this is going to be a good one here tonight. What do you think, Fritch?
Can't wait. This is going to be an awesome evening for sports in northern Michigan and Boyne City, right?
Totally excited for this. As you know, you might have seen some of the hype leading up to the game. We do have, I don't know, a couple people, I guess. You've heard of them, right? They're kind of popular around here, I guess. We have two Olympians on here tonight, so this is going to be a heck of a broadcast. Kaila, Kuhn, and Cary Adgate are going to join us here tonight, and I'm pretty nervous, Rich. I don't know about you. I'm a little starstruck right now.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We get to ask some of these questions. You know, we've been watching the Olympics for a couple weeks now, and with all the excitement around Boyne City with Kaila's experience there and Cary's experience at the Olympics a few years ago. We have a lot of questions and a lot of great stuff to talk about. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and just in case you didn't know, we are not standing in the wheelhouse. We are home comfortably in our office, on our couch. I don't know where you are, Fritch. That looks like some kind of fake log cabin you have there. It's a great painting that you did.
Yeah,
but we're doing this all remotely, and with that comes a lot of fun, exciting difficulties and all that stuff. So bear with us, and we'll have fun relaxing from our couches and watching the game here tonight.
Well, we can tell the audience that it doesn't look like we have any video going yet, but the JV game ended maybe 10 minutes ago. We probably have 5 minutes yet before the tip-off of Kalkaska at Boyne City, so you're not missing any game action yet, but that should be coming shortly, hopefully.
Yeah, should be exciting. Again, this matchup here tonight is going to be a good one. Boyne City coming off a tough loss against Harbor Springs, and Fritz, you and I talked a little bit about that before we got on. And this is looking like a big bounce back game here for Boyne City. They got to play together as a team and stay focused on the game at hand.
Yeah, it's part of the excitement of high school basketball. I was thinking about this the other day. Watched some college basketball, a little bit NBA. Don't watch much, but watched a few minutes, and I just thought, high school basketball is where it's at. It's just so organic and exciting, and there's just, watching the kids grow, watching the teams grow. It's really just an awesome experience, and to be able to do this online for viewers across the country, across the world tonight is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think the excitement you're talking about is pretty good here. Oops, got the national anthem. Right now, until it's over.
Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, the visitors from Kalkaska. Number 3, Cooper Skirkowski.
All right, as I was saying, the Lake Michigan Conference is pretty exciting here this year, as it is every
Number 20, Landon Hart.
You never know which team is going to get hot for an upset. I mean, for called upsets.
Number 55, Jacob Shaw.
Anything can happen on any given night. As happened on Tuesday against Harbor Springs.
And now,
Boyne
the
City
starting
lost that one,
lineup
so
for the Boyne City
this next
Ramblers.
one.
Number 2, Jack Neer. Number 3, Jacob Johnson.
Yeah, it's going to be fun,
Number 4, Mason Wilcox. Number 5, Aaron Best. Number 10, number 11, Alex Kalkaska. The Rams are coached by Mr. Randy Kalkaska.
Interesting tech difficulty here. We can't see the game, so we have it up on our phones. It looks like the audience does have that live, so we should be good to go, although we can't see the Broadcasting blind.
Talk about flying blind. This is totally flying blind right now.
Yeah, I think this is a new challenge. Calc seems to step this up a level or two every week or every month, so this is a new one.
I'm still trying to get it up on my phone, so you're gonna have to keep.
All
it
right.
going.
Well, looks like we're getting close to tip here. Getting ready to do. Looks like we already had introductions. We're getting ready to tip the ball up. So. Boyne City in the whites, Kalkaska in the blues.
Yeah, this is good. I'm not going to get into this one. Why don't you just keep me updated, and I'll be the color commentator. You do play-by-play for tonight.
Just going to sit there and snack right there.
I'm gonna. Got some Sour Patch Kids. We're good to go.
Yep, Kalkaska wins the tip. But in reality, as much as we're excited about the basketball game, we have quite an exciting night coming here. We'll be speaking with some Boyne City celebrities this evening about their Olympic experiences, so I'm sure that's why many of you are here. That will be coming in the second quarter.
Yeah, and since we didn't do a lot of pregame, the keys to the game tonight for Boyne City, obviously staying focused on what they're doing, but box out, make sure they win the rebounding game, and play physical. I mean, just play physical and make sure that they are taking care of business in that sense. And then don't get caught up in all the extracurricular stuff that happened last time they played Kalkaska, if you remember that game. And then make sure they execute. And so just making sure they stay focused is a key here tonight for the Ramblers.
Well, Boyne did get a fast break bucket defense here for about 20 seconds and held on that possession. So Boyne with a 2-0 lead coming back down the court. So a good start defensively and a long three from the top of the key. Good. I can't tell who that is on my phone, but I do know that the score is 5-0. So
that's good. That's good. When the threes start falling early for Boyne City, that's always a good thing. And they got a lot of guys on their team that can shoot them. I can only imagine who it was.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it.
Somebody in Boyne City jersey. That's good.
Yep, it was a white jersey. Yeah, so it's a little difficult with that college game that you can't see.
Yeah, it is. This is a new twist for us. We've done a lot of different things, and this one zooming from home, and we've never tried one where you actually can't see the game. So,
well, last week we didn't understand, or last month before that broadcast, we didn't recognize that we would not have game sound. For the broadcast, which is kind of interesting, but looks like we're rolling here now.
Yeah, looks like I can see it.
A nice view of my hat there for who knows how long. So.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, this is a good start here for us.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were hoping for, right? For Boyne to come out, show that they were mentally prepared, focused, and like you said, McKee's ready to execute. So that's a great start. Turnover and a fast break here.
Leaking right out. Good job by Aaron Best getting down the floor. And it's going to be a good night. Rambler Rowdies have got the new Rambler Rowdy shirts. You can see them all wearing those. Team Warm coming out. You got Debbie Chu already giving us the Good Luck Ramblers tweet in here. So it's going to be a good night here in Boyne City.
Yes, she's on it, isn't she?
She's learning to get in there quick. She's a good luck charm for Boyne City. I feel like we can't really get started until we get that tweet. Good defense again by Boyne City, looking to get up the floor.
Yeah, Boyne rolling a shutout here the first 3 minutes. That's a great start. So looks like we have a Kalkaska timeout there, Andy. Is that what
I'm sure it was a Kalkaska timeout with a 9-0 run right there. So there's a good look at the Rambler Rowdies. You can see them. It's Olympic night here, and a lot of them wearing the Rambler Rowdy shirts with the Stars and Stripes somehow involved. Kind of great mix right there. Again, we would like to thank all of our sponsors for making sure that this all happens. And we're so sorry. Last time we did this, we were having so much fun, Fritch. We forgot to mention them, but they've been great, loyal sponsors all year. And why don't you run through them real quick, Fritch?
Yes, all year and for a long time. We have great appreciation for Pat O'Brien Real Estate. Once again, a presenting sponsor, Boyne City Marathon. This evening, WB Builders, Robert Banner Law Firm, and Northern Michigan Escapes, and all those businesses, Andy, have been in town for a while. They've been sponsors for a while, and those are all great families. The O'Brien family, Gables family, the Brown family, the Breen family, and the Banner family and the Walsh family. Great people, great businesses, and we appreciate the fact that they are helping bring this broadcast to you tonight.
Well, 11-0 now, and that looked like a travel to me, but they get away with it. But again, this is what Boyne City had focused on doing, coming out here and just putting it away early. Another good rebound there, and here comes Boyne City quickly. There's that classic left-handed drive by Calcaterra, and he is so quick with either hand, but he really likes to go down the lane on that left side, and he's so quick. His first step is so quick, and that time he picked up the bucket and the foul.
So, Andy, that Rambler Rowdy crowd that we saw there looked larger than during the last broadcast. You had a snow day up there yesterday, a nice day, and a half day today, so the Rowdy crowd should have plenty of energy, you think, this evening, or what?
Yeah, they're all well rested. I'm sure most of them spent the afternoon on the ski slope, but they look like they're in
yes,
peak form here tonight. Like I said, all red, white, and blue. This is going to be just a fun setting here tonight. So far, Kalkaska held scoreless, and this was a tribute to the Boyne City defense. There's a three that's a little long for Cal.
Yeah, Kalkaska playing man defense right now. We'll see how long that is.
That's a rough shot right there. That looked like it was forced, looking for a foul, and nothing doing, and it's a turnover to Boyne City.
Yeah, Kalkaska definitely would have preferred to move that ball around a little bit there and try and get something a little bit nicer shot. I'd like a nicer photo too there. I'm all frozen up, looks like I'm half asleep.
Well, that's mostly how people see you. So I mean, you might as well just go with your best image, and that's
I appreciate
normally what you look for. See Scotty Haley in there, good screener.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I would have liked to see Boyne move the ball and just make Kalkaska work at this point, you know, with a 13, now 16 nothing lead, but can't.
Yeah,
for making a three, right?
Yeah, another great shot by Jack Neer, but I agree with you. It'd be nice to work on some of their sets and wear Kalkaska down. Nobody wants to play defense for a minute straight. One pass and shoot makes it easy for the defense. There's a foul right there. Scotty Haley.
Excuse me, Boyne City's defense is really putting the pressure on those passing lanes. Kalkaska having trouble moving the ball.
Scotty Haley looks like a new man in there with the man bun going on up top. I haven't seen his face in a long time with the shaggy hair he's got under his face. He's got it up the man bun tonight.
Oh, man bun or not, that guy's a man.
He is definitely big man bun. Another foul, and Boyne City's going to go to the line. This is going to be an interesting night here to see how Kalkaska can even try to slow Boyne City down. Well, we apologize again for the technical difficulties. We are again flying by the seat of our pants, and Ben Harmeling and Eden and everybody in the truck, Timothy, they're all doing a great job of solving problems. And this is one of the great things of this program is you get real world problems and you got to solve them very quickly while everybody's watching.
That's right.
And they did a fantastic job. We got to watch. We didn't watch the game. We got to watch the truck and watch them scramble around and try to figure this out. And that was pretty entertaining.
Well, it was interesting.
And they figured it out.
In the bottom corner of your screen there, you'll see Randy Calcaterra, who's also the mastermind of the technical stream there in the truck. So how he got that solved while the game was starting, I have no idea. He obviously gave up before he fixed my mugshot over there, though.
Yeah, it looks good. They couldn't have froze in any better place. But yeah, the truck, we just got to say good job in there figuring that all. I know that was hectic. But.
Yeah, and they had the crew back there working. We have Ben Harmeling running the show this evening. We are missing, to our detriment, Roger Coates this evening, who is in Grand Rapids with his family, Jacob and Kuhn. As you know what's going on. We miss having him here to help with this stuff and to goof around with. So, I had breakfast with Roger yesterday, and we've had some ups and downs, I believe, but Roger's feeling is that the trajectory is generally upward, and they feel happy about that right now, although they have a lot of work yet to do. But I do know that they feel the love from Boyne City. There's been a lot of support for them, and they wanted me to pass along the gratefulness for that. So, Rod, Kuhn, Jacob, are with you guys. Thanks for that.
Yeah, there's a great Scotty Haley putback, but same thing, Rod. We miss you up here, and are just hoping everything goes as smooth as it possibly can for you and your family and Jacob, and looking forward to next Saturday at 7 o'clock to join with Jacob. Evening we have planned here in the Wheelhouse. It is going to be one of the bigger events that's ever happened here in the Wheelhouse. And that's no joke. It's going to be drama and band and basketball teams. And, Mallory O'Brien's going to sing. It is just going to be a major event. And that stuff only happens in small towns that care for good people, and the Coates family, great people, and this is going to be just a great event, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be covered by RSN. Heck, most of the town is going to be in the Wheelhouse, so it is going to be a phenomenal night, and make sure that you show up or tune in online, because it's going to be special. And it's a $10 adult, $5 kid, and then the shirts, they're selling shirts for $20. So there's going to be donations going around. It's going to be just a great thing. And until we get through this, Coach family, we're all pulling for you and thinking of you and wish you were here.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm being told that Richie, this is a good look for you.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, and as you're seeing, we're getting communications here a lot from on the broadcast and on our cell phones, and I think it's on your end, Fritz. They're claiming the truck is hands off. I think it's you. I think it's your problem.
All right. Well, I may log out here and try and come back on and see what happens. So.
Well, we're coming up on the end of the first quarter here, and we are going to bring in Kaila Kuhn here very quickly, and so this will be great if you're frozen.
Yeah,
there's the end by Jack Neer, and that one normally he knocks those down, those last second shots. He's been told not to sign out. Too close.
All right.
You're just going to have to freeze like that.
Huh. Well, that means I can sit here and snap anyway.
That's right. It's going to come back on. You're going to have Doritos all over your face thinking that you're not on anymore.
It's always something to keep us entertained. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is. Well, at the end of your first quarter, 22-6. I mean, Boyne City rolling. And again, they're doing everything that they should be doing. So good start to the game. Which leaves us in control of trying to not worry too much about the basketball game and talk to our Olympians. I'm more excited about that here tonight than I am this basketball game, if I had to be honest.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to hear both for us and for Boyne City. Some of the stories these guys have to tell us and experiences they've earned. This is going to be pretty exciting. Pat, Booster there is going to paint some eyes on my eyelid. That's a good idea, Pat. Run over some eyeshadow or whatever you would do that with.
Yeah. That sounds like something Klooster would do. There's a steal by Kalkaska and could not convert. Rebound by Rakovic. Good little energy, though, coming out in that second quarter. Got a steal, but just could not make the layup. And this like as you said, Fritz, they ought to just work this ball around. You got some guys in there. You got Fila in there. You got Rack in there. You got some fresh blood in there. Work that ball around. And there's a foul on Jack Neer.
Yeah, that's a big first quarter for Boyne City, on both ends of the floor, really. They did a nice job with their pressure defense, getting Kalkaska sort of out of their offense and uncomfortable a little bit. It was a nice play out of bounds.
Yeah, when these guys really want to, Boyne City can just swarm. We're not a very big physical team. I mean, you have Scotty Haley, you got some guys in there that can really put the hurt on you if they need to, but for the most part, a lot of quick guards, and we get streaky shooting and quick down the lane, and offensively could be just a steamroller. But defensively, man, they can really make it really difficult for you to dribble or get an offense going. In Kalkaska saw that in the first quarter when everything's firing correctly. There's another steal here.
Yep, very opportunistic play on defense. Yep.
Well, like I was saying, they can just give you fits offensively and defensively, and that looks like what's happening here. Kalkaska just struggling, trying to find anything to get going.
Yeah, and I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but I'd like to see Boyne City run their offense, move that ball around, make Kalkaska work on defense. We know we can. It looks like the Ramblers are going to get a shot when they need one, so it'd be a nice opportunity to slow things down and work on a few things. I'd imagine.
Yeah, and that's a good idea for this game. I mean, like you said, every one of these guys can go get their own shot, but they're going to need to, down the stretch here and in districts and stuff, they're going to need to have some offense and some moving that ball around. So this would be a good game to work on that. I think I saw Chaz Stonick going to the scorer's table, which would be good. Yep, Chaz Stonick checking in. Yeah, just to reiterate on that, join with Jacob. Like we said, it's the T-shirts are $20, and $15 of that goes to the Coates family. So it is all obviously going to a great cause, a great family. I think for me personally, you could have made the shirts $100. I think I would have got 6 of them. So I'm totally on board with this Join with Jacob event that's happening. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be a great experience, and it's had this conversation with Roger a little bit. Just the love from Boyne City, the support both emotionally, financially, and every way possible. It's really been remarkable. I think they were pretty blown away, and kind of had the conversation that you just have to. It's hard to accept all that support sometimes when they're going through the things they're going through and have to focus elsewhere. But Boyne City is glad to do that. The people are glad to help. That's what they want to do, and so you just accept it, and it's an awesome thing.
Yeah. Well, Rakovic going to the line here. And we have a graphic. Does this mean that Kaila Kuhn is coming in here? Oh my goodness! We now have on RSN with us Kaila Kuhn, Boyne City Olympian. Kaila Kuhn, welcome to RSN.
Thank you.
What time is it in Beijing right now?
It is 8:45 a.m.
Wow, great. What are you going to some events today, Kaila? What's on your schedule?
Well, tomorrow is closing ceremony, so there's not a whole lot of events left, but the last event today that we can watch in our village is men's half pipe. So we might head up and watch that a little bit later.
Great.
Just to say this real quick to maybe for you, the Boyne City, the community has just been Kaila crazy here. They've just been loving this whole thing. Very proud of you and everything. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans, to the community, while you have this platform, while we got you?
Just thank you so much for all the support. I have gotten an outpour of comments and phone calls and text messages, and I have gotten so much support from this community, and it truly means the world to me. So just thank you. It's been amazing coming from Boyne City.
And you can see right now on the screen we're putting all the support from all the little kids, and I know that in my household I have a 6th grader and a 3rd grader, and I don't know if you can see it behind me here. It's on this shoulder. My 3rd grader colored an American flag while we were watching you, and that's just he's never met you, right? Never met you, doesn't even know. But what does that feel like to have a whole town? A lot of people, have never met you, and you are now, a point of pride for Boyne City, and we feel like we know you just because you came from our town. What does that feel like?
I don't think I've really processed it yet, and I don't think I've really gotten everything that people are putting out there, just because I'm on the other side of the world right now. But just from what I have received, I have the best support system, and everybody that knows me and everyone that doesn't have been absolutely amazing, and I don't really know how else to describe it because it still doesn't really feel real. It hasn't sunk in yet, but it's really special to have so much support from such a small community. It feels like I know everybody.
Kaila, what can you tell us about your experience? You've been there for 2 weeks now in the Olympic Village, just kind of soaking this all up. You skied almost a week ago now, is that right? So
Yep.
you've been able to hang out there and see what's going on. What can you tell us about that experience of just being there in Beijing with all those athletes?
Well, so we came here a little bit early because there was a charter flight here and we wanted to risk traveling commercially. So we came here actually like a week before we needed to. So we kind of got a chance to explore the village and meet some other athletes before we even competed. But it is all kind of a blur because we were so stressed about competing. So now being here for about a week after we competed, and getting to soak it all in without the additional stress of competing has been really cool. And I am fangirling over all of these really cool athletes here, and it still doesn't really feel real that I'm one of them. So it's been pretty special.
Kaila, do you have are you with athletes other than just Americans?
So the way that the village is set up is there's like different houses with apartments in them for each country. So we're all divided by country, but every country that is competing at venues connected to this village are staying in this village also. So several other teams are here also.
Kaila, I had the honor of being able to go to an Olympics when it was in Salt Lake. I had a friend that was on the bobsled team, and went to watch him. And very proud of him. He won a bronze medal. It was so cool. But the only thing I could remember and talk about when I came back was that Olympic feel. Like everybody goes in, you're trying to win, you're trying to beat so and so and beat this, right? But the feel of everybody is just so happy to be there. Everybody's cheering for each other. Everybody's just hugging and celebrating all the time. Is that kind of the same feel as an athlete when you're there competing? Is there any kind of gritty competition, or is it all just very friendly? This is great. We're all in the Olympics.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think most of the gritty competition actually comes before the Olympics because everyone's trying to make the games and you're competing with your teammates and you're also competing with everyone else in the world to get Olympic spots. So that's when all of that competitiveness is there. Once everybody makes it to the Olympics, it's a lot of fun. I mean, everyone had gone through the stressful part of making it. You're here, and now just to soak up the experience with your teammates and people from other countries, and aerials is a really, really small sport, so all of us are fairly close, and we all know each other pretty well. So yeah, that Olympic spirit and that Olympic feel is absolutely there for athletes also.
Yeah, it's intoxicating. I mean, that's all I could say. It was an amazing scene, and watching you and watching all the people around the event, I just started thinking, man, that is a blast. You are never ever going to forget that feeling. It is so cool.
Absolutely.
Well, I have some questions. I think we're going to show some of your jumps and stuff because I have some serious questions about that. But I also just want to talk about, because again, I had a buddy that went through this, and an elite athlete, you just think, oh my gosh, this is so great, and but the grueling path that you have to take to get to the Olympics, it is not all, hey, we're getting paid tons of money and whatever. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey, starting so young and from a small town and getting to where you are today?
Yeah, so I tried out when I was 12, and I went out to Park City, Utah, and I jumped out there into the pool for a few weeks. And obviously I was still really, really young, but I really liked the sport. And so the following year I went out to the Olympic Training Center in Lake Placid, New York, and I tried out for the elite aerial development program there. And I ended up making the team and making the decision to move away from home at 13. And it was pretty crazy to start like that because I had to switch to online school, which Boyne City was so unbelievably supportive. I did online school from 8th grade and I graduated high school online. So that was a learning curve. And we had a pretty grueling schedule. I mean, for a 13-year-old to move out and be training 8 hours a day was quite the change. But after a couple of years, I transitioned out to Utah and I started training with the national team. And the summer training is really the most crazy part, is just like walking upstairs, jumping into the water, walking upstairs, jumping into the water. It gets really repetitive. And just having that Olympic dream in the back of my mind all the time when there are days when I don't want to be there, you know, and getting to come to the Olympics after so long of training every day, always thinking about it, has really, really been special for me. But it definitely hasn't been easy. It's been an incredibly challenging road. There's been lots of obstacles we've had to jump over, but my family and my friends have been the best support system for me. So they've made it a lot easier.
So, Kaila, you mentioned the competitive atmosphere leading up to the Olympics. When did you realize that you had a chance to do this? Like, how long was that road for you from the time you said, you know, maybe I can make this team, to actually competing? Because it's a pretty long road, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't know that I really had a shot at making this Olympics until last season. I obviously wanted to make the Olympic team, but I didn't know how realistic it was this cycle, because I was younger, and the other girls that have made the Olympic team, they have been doing higher difficulty tricks for longer than I have. So I needed to work on trying some new tricks and getting them qualified so we wouldn't have snow so I could compete. And we started with our Olympic qualifying events last season. And so it was important that I got some good results then, so it would travel into this next year and it would help with my results for qualifying the team. And
So your results in all of those events are compiled in order to determine who makes the team?
So the qualification process is a little bit hard. The first two women were selected off of a points list, and they were top two women, so they were selected. And then the third spot is off of Olympic qualifying events, and there was one Olympic qualifier last season, and that was one of my first World Cup podiums. And so that was a really good place to get a podium to set me up coming into this season. And then we had 4 more Olympic qualifiers this season before the Olympics. And so they looked at all of those results, and I got the Olympic spot off of the Olympic qualifiers.
That is fantastic. I mean, it's a hard road, and then you're just sitting and waiting, and then you peaked at the right time. Which I have 2 questions for you now off of that. Outlook for the next Olympics, is that something that you're looking to do?
Yep. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
I figured that. I just wanted to make sure. And then, what's the best thing that you've eaten over there in Beijing since you've been there?
Well, so the funny part about the Olympic Village is it's like a rule that they need to have cuisine from every country. They didn't necessarily follow that here. It's been mostly Chinese food, and we've adapted how we could. We have been eating lots of rice and dumplings, and they have Pizza Hut and KFC here, which I have yet to try, but I've gotten mixed reviews on it. So
you can see we're showing some of your jumps now. Can you see that?
Yep.
Kaila, you hinted at this, but so when you're learning these new jumps or doing these for the first time, you're jumping into a pool. Is that correct?
Yes.
Until you get to a point where you're pretty confident you're going to land on your feet. Is that how it works, or what can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So, obviously, when you're first starting, you're on a smaller jump, and then you add a twist, and then you move up to another jump, and you add a flip, and then you just kind of get more and more comfortable. And even before you try it on water, we can do it on the trampoline. We have a bungee system. So you have like a belt on your waist, and you're attached to bungees that are hooked onto the ceiling, and you can pretty much simulate the exact same thing you're doing on water or snow on the trampoline, which is where it's the safest. Um, and then once you figure that out, then you can bring it to water. And all the water training is just for perfecting your tricks. So you just do hundreds and hundreds of jumps until they're good.
How about
Watch yourself jump and just say, "That is insane! I can't believe I'm doing that."
Went beyond her years.
Not so much now, because I've been doing it for so long. It's very normal to see a video of myself, but if I had seen a video of myself doing that a few years ago, I would have been like, what is she doing? This is crazy.
I'm not sure how realistic it was.
Until a friend encouraged her to try freestyle, Kaila thought her path to the Olympics might.
All right, I have some questions about these jumps that we're watching right here. My first question is, how many times have you come down? Because this is what I envision. How many times did you come down with your face into your knees and you like misrotate or whatever, and you know, bust a nose or a tooth or something like that? I mean, that just seems like it would be inevitable.
Yeah. So I haven't done that too much, but last year when we were in Finland, I landed and I kneed myself in the eye, and I gave myself a black eye. A week later, I did it to the other eye. So,
well, you got a matching set. That's good, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I had like slid down on my face, so I had two black eyes and like a bloody lip.
I can't imagine that. I mean, that's got to be a common injury. So, the other thing is when you put your arm up, you know, when you do your arm up like that, when you come down, or both arms up. You know, my kids were asking me that. Why are they putting their arms up like that? I think I know the answer, but just to let you know, most of us would ski down like that and put our arm up like that. That would cause us to fall just doing that. But go ahead and tell us why that you need to do that with your arms before you hit the jump.
So that is called tilt. So everything we're doing with our arms, influences how our body moves in the air. So if we're twisting, we'll drop our arms, and to stop the twist, we lift our arms. So when I'm coming into the ground, when I'm trying to land, I'm stopping the twist by lifting my arms up.
Okay. So you were coming down on one of those jumps and you had just one arm up.
Yeah.
My third grader thought you had a question as you were skiing down the hill. So that's about the extent of our knowledge.
Yeah, so that is the few tricks you go off the jump with one arm up, and that's a double full. So the reason I have one arm up is because I'm doing two twists in the first flip coming off the jump instead of just one.
Unbelievable. The amount of force that is going on in that area. You're going, what, 40, 50 feet in the air?
I'd say for doubles, 30 to 40, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, then it's not that scary.
Well, then you get to triples, and they're going 60 feet in the air, so it's all perspective.
Yeah. So the other thing, you were talking about how some of those girls were doing more difficult tricks, and that's all part of it, right? So your score, the highest score you can get based on the tricks, and then explain the kicker to us as well.
Yeah, so there is a double kicker and a triple kicker. You'll see most of the men going off of the triple kicker. But the jumps are always very, very similar on every site that we're competing on. So everything's measured. The in-run is measured at a certain degree, the table is a certain length, and then the jump is measured to certain degrees. And then also the landing hill. So everything is as similar as it can be to other sites. But yes, the difficulty of tricks is it varies per person, but there is one girl on my team, her name's Ashley, and she just went to her 4th Olympics, and she's going off of the triple kicker, so obviously she'll get some higher scores in there, and she actually got 4th. And then there are 2 variations of triple twisting double backflips. So you do 2 twists in the first flip and 1 twist in the second flip. That's the one that I competed. And then there's 1 twist in the first flip and 2 twists in the second flip, which is what 2 of my other teammates competed. So it's just a little bit different for everybody.
Kaila, the day that you jumped was quite cold and windy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
very cold.
We were supposed to have qualifications and finals on 2 separate days. And we went up for qualifications on the 13th, and it was really windy, and there was really heavy snowfall. I would say it's the worst weather I've ever jumped in. And so they decided to cancel qualifications for that day, and then we fit our whole competition on the 14th. So everyone was doing a lot more jumps than expected, and we were all pretty exhausted by the end. But it has been fairly warm here, actually, but for the few days that we competed, it dropped into very, very cold temperatures, and now it's starting to warm up again, of course.
We're getting a question here from part of the crew. Harley Cataract wants to know what you're thinking about when you're up in the air flipping around.
Coming back down softly.
I would say just staying safe and making it to my feet. It's hard to. I don't think there's a whole lot going on up there actually when I'm in the air. I'm really relying on my training and muscle memory. If you really think too much about how it works, it can get a little scary. So I try not to leave too much going on in my brain when I'm up in the air.
Yeah, we had to see Simone Biles in the summer games go through the twisties, and they talked a lot about how in all those gymnastic-like sports that kind of stuff happens. Has that ever happened to you? And I think you got a pretty good handle on it because you said you don't think too much up in the air. But is that something that can happen where you just kind of lose your spot up there in your routine?
It absolutely can happen. It's never happened to me personally. But one thing that we really focus on in our training is vision. So even though we're doing lots of flips and twists in the air, we are actively spotting where we're going to land on the landing hill. So if you catch somebody looking at the sky, they're definitely lost and they don't know what's going on. And if they make it to their feet, they're pretty lucky. So yeah, it's definitely possible. It happens to a lot of people, but I'm very grateful it hasn't happened to me.
Yeah, so, that's good.
Keep it up. You kind of mentioned that your jumps in the Olympics here last week were not the most exotic, perhaps, but some of the commentary when you were jumping was about your technical skills and how clean your jumps were and so forth. Can you just tell us maybe a couple of the things that the judges are looking at as far as that goes while you're in the air?
Yeah, so they are judging off of air form in landing. So like form is the biggest part of your score. And so what you want to see is really straight body and your feet together and a stuck landing. You don't want your tips to come up. You don't want to fall forward. Like you want to keep your upper body tall and not compress too much with your lower body when you're landing. So yeah, I wasn't competing the hardest tricks, but I really worked on making them as clean as I could so I could get the highest scores that I could. And the jump that you're watching right now is a new one for me. That was the first time I competed it, actually.
Was it really?
And I hadn't landed very many straight ones before that. So I was just super excited to put that one to my feet.
And pretty soon you'll be working on new tricks for 4 years from now?
Yeah, so at the next Olympics, you should expect to see me doing triples, so I'll be on a whole different jump.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, we are, again, without even having to say this, we are just so proud of all your accomplishments, and just, putting Boyne City on the map. And like I said, most people never heard of Boyne City, and you've put it on the map, and we thank you for that. We thank you for taking time on your busy schedule and showing up here on Rambler Sports Network, and giving all of Boyne City just a treat to actually talk to you a little bit for us in our community. So thank you for joining us. And do you have anything, last things you want to say to Boyne City or friends or family while we have you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Boyne City. I love you, and I'll be home soon.
Yeah,
a pleasure to have you, Kaila. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, fantastic experience for Kaila Kuhn and for Boyne City. And right off of that, I mean, it's not that bad. We get one Olympian, but we're just going to drop two right in your lap here tonight. And we are joined now by Cary Adgate, and some of you, the younger generation. He's the guy, the big poster guy on the athletic hallway that you see up there. That you never really knew who he was, but he is an Olympian from Boyne City. And Cary, welcome to the Rambler Sports Network.
Thank you. Very cool. Man, I just learned more about aerial skiing than from any of the broadcasts I've ever watched. And I was just commenting that I think Kaila, when she ever retires, has got a career in broadcasting, because she speaks really well, and that was phenomenal.
I was thinking the same thing, Cary, when I heard her start to speak. Just a very good, smooth, explained it very well, handled every question. So very mature, and probably because she was doing her own thing at age 13, having to fight her way through and chase that Olympic dream. So we're looking at some of your stuff now here, Cary, and I know you're a pretty humble guy. You were quite the stud. You were quite the stud in your day.
Cary, I started making a list of some of your accomplishments, and it got ridiculously long. But I think the audience needs to know, that you participated in the Olympics in both 1976 and 1980, correct? And you were a 6-time national champ. That's quite a resume. What went through your mind listening to Kaila talk about her Olympic experience?
Well, I mean, it's really cool because, I don't have direct connections with, the people that are on the alpine ski team right now. And I just know from my two experiences that they were quite different. The first one was in Austria, the second one, in Lake Placid and in our own country. And, there were issues at the time, maybe not something as crazy as, this past couple of years with COVID, but, I've skied all around the world, but never in China. And I just got to believe that had its own challenges. And so I was kind of interested to hear about, the housing and the food and that kind of stuff. And I will say that, the food particularly, you don't go to the Olympics for the cuisine, I would say.
There goes your Olympic dream, Fritchie.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll drop that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Kalkaska just missed a dunk there. The thing that most people forget is that you got to go to 2 Olympic Games, and it's hard enough to go to just one, but let alone to go to 2 Olympic Games. And you saw right there, and that was some of the pro-am stuff that you were doing there in that video. it made me so proud when I hear, you know, Cary Adgate from Boyne City, Michigan. They keep saying Boyne City. What does it mean to be basically, you know, the biggest star out of Boyne City, Michigan?
Well, I don't know about that, but you know, it was something that, you know, I would say I never really, you know, thought could happen until I'm going to say stuff that's going to sound like Caleb, because I think it's probably the same experience for everyone. You don't assume anything, and until you get there or get close to being there, I think you know, it's a goal that's off in the distance, but you take it one step at a time, and you know, when it happens, it's surprising. And you know, when I was 15 years old, I didn't, you know, I mean, everybody thinks, wow, it'd be cool to be in the Olympics, but at that age, I was not realistically thinking about, you know, I have a chance to make the Olympic team. It was a little bit later. And Kayla's story is just amazing. I mean, moving away from home at 13, I mean, I completed high school. I didn't leave town until I went to the University of Colorado right after high school. And then, you know, I was pretty much traveling for the next 20 years, but, you know, I was already, you know, 18 years old or something like that. And I think that's a significant difference. So it's, but yeah, it's kind of fun. And what's really fun is, you know, both Olympics, but I remember particularly the first one in 1976. I got, so this is going to show you how old I am. We got telegrams, if anyone's heard of that technology. This was just slightly before there were iPhones. And, you know, but like pages and pages of stuff. And the town put on, you know, a really cool event when I was home over Christmas. And I've still got a lot of stuff that I occasionally try to haul out and look at that stuff. And it's pretty gratifying, and it's fun to see other people having fun with it too.
Yeah. Well, we saw a picture there of what year was that picture of the ski team, Boyne City ski team? What'd you say it was, 69 or?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
69, and you know, that's a classic picture. I love that picture. It's got the Boyne City school bus in the back right there.